Hello, and in this video we are going to be going through how to create a cleric in Baldur's Gate 3. So, with our cleric, what is it that a cleric does? So let's have a look. Clerics are representatives of gods. They worship, wielding potent divine magic for the good or ill. We get the proficiencies of simple weapons and morning stars. Armor is light armor, medium armor, and shields. So it does say that our primary ability is wisdom, so that's something to bear in mind. We also get 3 cantrips and 5 spells. Get 2 level 1 spell slots, which are restored at a long rest, and domain spells. You gain spells from your domain. They are always prepared. There we go. So let's go through and have a look at what race we want. I mean, this is a good question. I feel as though that clerics is one of those classes that you can really get away with any sort of race that you feel like. I don't know if there's anything that really leans into clerics in particular. It might be having the extra skill proficiency will give us a bit of a boost. Possibly the extra sort of like weaponry proficiencies and armor proficiencies. I mean, the armor proficiencies doesn't really matter, but the extra weapon proficiencies. How do you want to play your cleric? Ultimately, your cleric can come in a number of different playstyles. So for example, let's go over to the domains, because this is where you will pull across what kind of playstyle you want to do. So life domain. Your life domain is the aspect of many good deities offering spells that protect and restore the mind, body and soul. So your subclass features: Disciple of Life. Your devotion empowers your healing, and when casting a healing spell, the target regains hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So for instance, if you were casting a level 2 healing spell, you'd get an extra 4 hit points which is awesome. Light domain, let's have a look at subclass features. Shield yourself with divine light. Use your reaction to impose disadvantages on an attacker, possibly causing their attack to miss. Trickery domain. So trickery domain, shared by wicked, chaotic and mischievous deities alike. Those who channel trickery specialize in deception and illusion magic. So we get 2 extra spells here, which are domain spells: Charm Person and Disguise Self. Blessing of the Trickster. Grant another creature advantage on stealth checks. So as you can sort of like see, there's themes here. So depending on what sort of cleric you want to play, might determine the domain that you pick. So if you wanted to play a healer, you're naturally going to pick this. So let's keep going. So knowledge, adaptable and adroit in all manner of languages and skills. Your mind is an intellectual cup brimming with exquisite knowledge. There we go. We've got command and sleep. Got this green box because we have the spells already somewhere. Says you already know the spell. There is this is a better version of the one you already know. You will only have access to this one. There you go. So nature domain. The subclass features. You learn a druid cantrip and become proficient in animal handling, nature or survival. Go. So if you wanted to lean more into the nature side of things, and maybe you sort of like looking at the druids and whatnot, and you couldn't decide, maybe this is a good one for you. Tempest domain. Subclass features: Wrath of the Storm. Strike back at an attacking creature, potentially dealing 2 to 16 lightning damage. On a failed saving throw, you deal half of a 2 to 16 thunder damage roll. So there you go, that's quite a good one. And then War domain, War Priest. When you make an unarmed or weapon attack, you can spend a War Priest charge to make an additional attack as a bonus action. Early levels are Savage. And again, we've got Shield of Faith and Divine Favour. It is Favour, yeah. There we go. So also going through these, this would also give us access to heavy armor. We get no extra proficiencies there or there. We get heavy armor and martial weapons there, heavy armor there, and then heavy armor there. So these give us access to the heavy armor. So I mean, this is all situational. If you want to play, if you like the idea of playing a healer, then I would heavily go into life domain. If you wanted to play a war domain, you could go down this road. I would argue why you're not picking a paladin or a fighter, but we'll get onto that in other videos. So there's a number of different ways you can go. If you wanted to, so for instance, if you wanted to play like a rogue but with heavy armor, you'd probably come into Cleric class and go trickery domain. Or if you wanted to play a druid but with heavy armor, nature or tempest, but potentially. If you wanted to play a wizard with heavy armor, knowledge. If you wanted to play, I mean, again, I don't understand why you wouldn't pick a more fighter-based thing if you want this one. But having this at level 1 is, well, having it at any level really, having an extra like attack is disgusting. You'd probably want to stack strength if you're going this way, as well as wisdom. I think this does say, I think it's still going to be coming off of your strength modifier. So that's just something to bear in mind. We're going to go with our life domain. So this is our deity. I think this is purely flavor. This will have some sort of impact in game. So for example, if you come across a shrine of Saloon, that will have an impact. Additionally, you might come across characters or other shrines or bits and pieces for these other gods, in which case that will have maybe dialogue options, something. So backgrounds. We'll come back to backgrounds. I like to do these first before I do anything else. So we're going to lose all of our bonuses for now. We're going to stack wisdom and put our +2 on there. So this is our it influences your chance to hit or your damage output with weapon attacks or spells. So we want to stack this for our cleric class. I would then be inclined to go possibly 14 in constitution. Dex will take to 10. Intelligence will take to 10. Charisma we can take to 10. Strength, I don't think we need strength. We'll leave strength low. I'll put an extra 2 points into dexterity. That will give us our initiative bonus. I might put another 2 points dexterity. That will give us another one there. And then I might throw the extra 1 point into charisma. Now we don't get the bonus, so every even number you get a +1 bonus. So for example, let me show you. If I was to do that, we now get +1. If I take that off again, put that on there, we get a +1. When we get to level 4, you get the option to include extra +1s, so 2 more +1s or a feat. So for instance, I would probably go +1 +1, round that off to a +4, and have that at level 4. Having said that, there are the options for other feats, so it is worth going through and having a look at. Let's have a look at our skills. So we have a number of different skills here. What would we go with as a healer? I think acrobatics is a good one. Don't really want to worry about that. I think medicine would be a way forward. So let's select medicine there. If we want to be a healer, makes sense to have medicine. I don't think we need religion. I'd rather have those points in perception. Insight as well could be quite a good one to have. What else do we want? I'd say that's it. I'd round it off at this. So what we might even do is just change our background. So if I go to confirm, let's have a look at our background. What does noble give us? So that is going to be charisma and intelligence. Sage is going to be intelligence. Urchins is going to be dex and dex. Outlander, survival and athletics. Folk hero. This might be a good one. Yeah, look at all those 5s. +5, +5, +5, +5, +5, +2. I think this is the one where we're going to get the most bang for our buck. So we've got +5 on a load of these. +2's up here for our dex. There's not really any. Investigation is a good skill to have, but I think if you're going to go like healer and mendy person, I think this is a good one to have. So there we go. Let's have a look at our prepared spells. So cantrips. Cantrips. The cantrips, as always, have a damaging cantrip of some sort, because if you run out of spell slots and you haven't got any good weapons, at least you have a constant damage output. So I always like to have a damaging cantrip of some point. And then again, it's just having a look. What else have we got? So we've got Thaumaturgy, Sacred Flame. We're going to keep that one. Guidance plus 1d4 bonus to ability checks. So that's a good one to have. Resistance. That's always a good one to have. We've got Light, Produce Flame, and Blade Ward. I quite like those as they are. So let's go to prepare spells. Now, we definitely want a healing spell. Like, the whole point of us going into the bloody life domain is so that we can heal people. So let's make sure we heal people. We also have, in fact, I think we get those as our life domain spells. So we get Cure Wounds and we get Bless. So we don't want to take either of those because they come anyway as part of the domain. So we'll take Healing Word because Healing Word is an 18 meter spell. I think if I am right, can heal a teacher on touch. So being able to sort of like get around and touch whoever it is that you want to heal, that's Cure Wounds. Let's go back here. This one gives you a bit of healing at distance if you can't quite get that. What else? Protection from Good and Evil. Sanctuary, it's a pretty good spell. And Guiding Bolt. So there's a damaging spell. Again, not bad to have. I would probably... you or an ally cannot be attacked. That's a good one to have. Aberration, Celestials, Elementals, Phase, and that could be a good one to have. But we're going to lose that one, and we're going to take Bane. Now, this is only level 1. Like, do bear in mind that these are still known spells. So as you level up, you'll get access to spells. Unlike like the wizard class, you will have access to all of these spells. So you can just press K at any point that you're not in combat and swap these spells out. So if you sort of like go into a combat, just hit the K button. Or before you go into a combat, let's say for instance you know that you're going to be fighting, I don't know, some skeletons. You could drop Guiding Bolt and take protection from evil and good. So any undead can't, protect the ally against attacks and powers of aberration, celestial, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. That's a pretty good spell. Whack that on the tank or whoever's right in the middle. That's a pretty good one. Or, you might have some other spell that comes up and you're like, this would be really good in this situation. Maybe you're coming up against something that does a lot of fire. Being able to put water on it is fucking clutch. So it's there's lots of like situational spells, and this is something that you're going to be able to do. So always make sure you're hitting the save button. This is something that's coming up in my tip video, and then you'll be able to go, shit, actually this spell would be really good. Reload it, hit K, put the spell in, go into it again. Yeah, so there we go. So we have I think this is good. I think we're good. I like the folk hero. That gives us a lot of +5s. We'll keep that. As I said, I think this doesn't make much of a difference. Human, I do like the extra proficiencies and shields and bits and pieces. So that's always a good one. I think we're done. And then you can just go through and change your appearance however you like to change your appearance. So how would you build your cleric? Make sure to let me know in the comments below, because I'm always interested to know what sort of people, what different builds people come out with. I will be going through each of the classes and running a build video how I would build a cleric. So let me know in the comments below what one you're looking forward to most. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.